coming down, we'll go ahead and get started. It's about it. Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad you're here. I always love coming over here to sing. You're such a really nice audience. And I'm going to do some Mother's Day songs because Mother's Day was just last Sunday, wasn't it? Was that? Thanks. And then I'm going to do some patriotic songs because Memorial Day is coming up. And so hopefully that mix will be a good mix for us today. Let me see. Are these just... I think last time she lowered these a little bit so that it wouldn't be bright for people looking this way. Because then you're not looking at all those people walking by outside and not paying attention to me. And I won't get as much glare on the screen, so that'll be better. This first song is a song called Ma. It's a song that Garth Brooks found. It was written by Don Sampson and Lynn Barber. Never heard of it before, but it's a song about mom. This is for all those mothers out there. Little baby told God, hey, I'm kind of scared. I don't really know if I want to go down there. From up here, it looks like a little blue ball. But there's a great big place, and I'm so small. Why can't I just stay here with you? Did I make you mad? Don't you want me to? And God said, oh, child, of course I do. But there's somebody special waiting for you. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. 'Cause there's someone out there waiting whose only goal in life is making sure you're always gonna be alright. A loving angel, tender, tough, and strong. It's almost time to go and meet your mom. When she's talking to you, make sure you listen close, 'cause she's gonna teach you everything you'll ever need to know. Like how to mind your manners, to love and laugh and dream. And she'll put you on a path that will bring you back to me. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. 'Cause there's someone out there waiting whose only goal in life is making sure you're always gonna be alright. A loving angel, tender, tough, and strong. Come on, child, it's time to meet your mom. Yeah, it's a song Garth Brooks did. Thank you. This is a song that Holly Dunn wrote. It can go either way, so I'm going to go ahead and do it today. It's about Daddy's hands, but it's about a daughter talking about her dad's hands. So. I remember Daddy's hands folded silently in prayer, reaching out to hold me when I had a nightmare. You could read quite a story from his calluses and lines. Years of work and worry had left their mark behind. I remember Daddy's hands, how they held my mama tight, patted my back for something I'd done right. There are things I've forgotten that I loved about that man, but I'll always remember the love in Daddy's hands. Daddy's hands were kind and gentle when I was crying. Daddy's hands were hard as steel when I done wrong. Daddy's hands were always gentle, but I came to understand there was always love in Daddy's hands. I remember Daddy's hands working hard until they bled, sacrificed unselfishly just to keep us fed. If I could do things over, I'd live my life again and never take for granted the love in Daddy's hands. Daddy's hands were soft and kind when I was crying. Daddy's hands were hard as steel when I done wrong. Daddy's hands weren't always gentle, but I've come to understand there was always love in Daddy's hands. Yeah, Daddy's Hands by Allyn. This is a song that first time I heard this, I was at a Browns concert in Mars in Brown County. You've heard them sing before. It's the two sons and the daughter and the mom. They do a lot of gospel music and all kinds of different songs. They have their own theater in the Mars where they perform at. Busloads of people come in to listen to them. It's really a privilege to have them in our town. They've done a lot of good things for the town. They go to Branson and perform there. They travel all over the country. They've been other countries singing. They're really good. They play violin. They're really talented. But Michaela, the daughter, sang this song at a concert I went to. And it just really hit me when I heard it. It really reminded me of my mom. So. Years old, with dirt on my face, I'd been out in the yard picking dandelions all day. Burst through the front door when I gathered enough to give to my mom to show her my love. When I held out my hand, she looked down at me. She said, I've never seen flowers as beautiful as these. She's the one who told me about Jesus. She's the one who taught me to sing. She deserves an armful of roses, but she's satisfied with a handful of weeds. Now that I'm older and out on my own, I wish I could find time to make it back home. I could have done better, I know in my heart, than to scribble a note on a last-minute card. But then she called on the phone, and the first thing she said was, I've read this card over and over again. She's the one who told me about Jesus. She's the one who taught me to sing. She deserves an armful of roses, but she's satisfied with a handful of weeds. She's satisfied with a handful of weeds. Yeah, a handful of weeds it's called. I kind of mixed the two programs today because I sang on Monday in Battle Creek. I sang in Cherokee on Wednesday. And I did a different program, but she wanted some certain things today, so I decided to put those programs together this way. Oh, here we go. Grandma's Feather Bed. This is a cute ditty. I picked this up on a John Denver album. I don't think it was he never made it a single or anything, but it was on one of his albums. He didn't write the song. James Conner wrote the song. But it's a cute ditty. Anybody ever sleep in a feather bed?
I know.
Yeah? Okay. I don't always get somebody that slept on one. I remember feather pillows. You know, they have. You still have one?
Oh, I was.
Your grandmother had one, yep. And feather beds were interesting because they could get lumpy if you didn't move them around and stuff. But that's what this song's about, is about Grandma's feather bed. When I was a little bitty boy just up off the floor, we used to go to Grandma's house every month or so. We'd chicken pie and country ham and homemade butter on the bread. But the best darn thing about Grandma's house was a great big feather bed. It was 9 feet high, 6 feet wide, and soft as a downy chick. It was made from feathers that fall to left geese, took a whole load of cloth for the tick. It'd hold 8 kids and 4 hound dogs and a baby we stole from the shed. We didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. Well, after supper, we'd sit around the fire, the old folks spit and chew. Pa'd talk about the farm and the war, and Granny sing a ballad or two. We'd sit and listen and watch the fires, the cobwebs filled our heads. Next thing I knew, I'd wake up in the morning in the middle of the old feather bed. It was 9 feet high, 6 feet wide, and soft as a downy chick. It was made from feathers and 4 11 geese, took a whole load of cloth for the tick. It'd hold 8 kids and 4 hound dogs and a piggy we stole from the shed. We didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. Well, I love my pa, I love my pa, I love Grandpa, Granny too. I went fishing with my uncle, I wrestled with my cousins, I even kissed Aunt Lou. But if I ever had to make a choice, I'd want it to be said that I'd trade them all, plus the gal down the road. Maybe not the gal down the road. For Grandma's feather bed. It was 9 feet high, 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chick. It was made from feathers and 4 11 geese, took a whole load of cloth for the tick. It'd hold 8 kids and 4 hound dogs and a baby we stole from the shed. We didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. Yeah, Grandma's feather bed. Keep little good. Oh, we weren't supposed to do that. My book shut off. Hi! Come back up, come on. There we go. What that song reminds me of a lot is when I was a kid, my folks used to go to the Bohemian Hall. It was over by Calendar, Iowa. And it was a dance hall they had there. They'd have bands during the weekends and they'd dance. Of course, back then, you just took the kids along. They played outside till it got dark. Put all the coats along the edge of the wall, and we'd lay down in the coats. Next thing I knew, Dad was picking me up, and if I wasn't asleep, I made sure he thought I was, because I wanted to get carried to the car and into the house, both, you know. My sisters would even say, "He's just faking it." I went to a real small little country church, and it was in Rollin, Iowa. I think it was called Rollin, Iowa because if you rolled in, you rolled out. It was really small. There was a church and an elevator and maybe a half a dozen houses and a little country store. That was where we went to church at. And I heard this song when I was singing at a festival, a country music festival, and somebody sang this song, and at that time it was called Little Mountain Church. But I didn't go to live in the mountains. I lived in the flat prairie line over in Webster County. And so I changed to Little Country Church. And I also didn't like the one verse real well, so I rewrote the last verse. And because when I was a kid, as I got older, I said, I really, my dad was a pretty good singer. But I said, the only place he sang was in church. And I never got to listen to him. And they said, that's because you didn't get to sit by Dad. You had to sit by Mom. And I had to be close enough so she could grab my ear once in a while. Because I had ants in the pants real bad when I was little. And so anyhow, that's what this song reminds me of. There's a little country church in my thoughts of yesterday, where friends and family gather for the Lord. There an old-fashioned preacher taught the straight and narrow way, what few coins the congregation could afford. Dressed in all our Sunday best, we sat on pews of solid oak. I remember how our voices filled the air, how Mama sounded like an angel with that high soprano voice. When the roll is called up yonder, she'll be there. Looking back now on that little country church house has become my life's cornerstone. It was there in that little country church house I first heard the words I based my life upon. My dad insisted that we always go to church. When singing hymns, his tenor voice was strong. Though he was a quiet man, his life spoke loud and clear. Walk your talk throughout all the year. Looking back on that little country church house has become my life's cornerstone. It was there in that little country church house I first heard the words I based my life upon. I first heard the words I based my life upon. Yeah. Thank you. You know, all the really good songs have that line, that gotcha line. And the line that got me on that song was there in that little country church house. I first heard the words I based my life upon. I just, that song, I really like that one. This is a kind of a tearjerker. It's a Colin Ray song called Love Me. And allergies, it's a really bad time of year. I can sing more bass now, though. We are born one fine day, children of God, on our way. Mama smiles, Daddy cries, a miracle before their eyes. They protect us till we're of age. Through it all, love remains. Boy moves on, takes a bride, she stands faithful by his side. Tears and sweat, they build a home and raise a family of their own. They share joy, they share pain. Through it all, love remains. Kingdoms come and go, but they don't last. Before you know, the future is the past. In spite of what's been lost and what's been gained, we are living proof that love remains. Lord, I don't know what I'd do on this earth without you. We all live, we all die, but the end is not goodbye. The sun comes up and seasons change. Through it all, love remains. Love is patient, love is kind, love endures. I added that 1 Corinthians verse at the end. Yeah. This song fits for the Mother's Day type theme, and then some patriotic songs later. I don't like that song. Yeah. I love electronics when they work. There we go. For some reason, it has something to do with the frame that it's in. It's wiggled a little bit and it shuts off. This is a song I wrote years ago. I was at church, and a little lady in church was going to put her coat on. I grabbed the coat and helped her put her coat on. And she turned and she looked at me and she goes, "My gentleman, what planet do you come from?" Well, I thought about that when I was mowing later, and I thought, it's because of my folks. It's the way they raised me. They taught me to have manners. And a lot of times, I always open the door for my wife, and people will see that, and sometimes they'll comment, "Wow, your husband opens the door for her?" My wife goes, "Yeah, all the time." And it's just the way it should be done. In fact, I've told my grandsons, they're old enough, they're starting to date, always open the door for the girl, okay? Be a gentleman. And it was funny, we were at a shopping mall, we had two of the grandsons were with us, and one of them ran up and opened the door for us. So it doesn't work. There are times when I help others hold a door, hold a coat, say please and thank you, say yes ma'am and yes sir. I get asked the same question more often than not. What planet do you come from? This is my response. Well, I come from the planet Anderson. Mel and Lois were in charge. When it came to helping others, no challenge was too large. We went to church each Sunday, had curfew and chores each day. We learned to work, we learned the golden rule, and we were taught to pray. The thing that I remember most is how happy we all were. We didn't have much money, we didn't know that we were poor. We worked another's farm, we were stewards of his land. But if a neighbor was in need, we were there to lend a hand. Well, I come from the planet Anderson. Mel and Lois were in charge. When it came to helping others, no challenge was too large. We went to church each Sunday, had curfew and chores each day. We learned to work, we learned the golden rule, and we were taught to pray. Dad always led the table prayer before we could start to eat. We always ate as a family while we all tried to speak. We took turns washing dishes, that was our time with Mom. That's when we shared and talked about all that we had done. Well, I come from the planet Anderson. Mel and Lois were in charge. When it came to helping others, no challenge was too large. We went to church each Sunday, had curfew and chores each day. We learned to work, we learned the golden rule, and we were taught to pray. I know they loved each other. It was that gleam in Dad's eye when he put his arm around her and smiled that great big smile. I only hope my own grandchildren come to know someday. They're all part of the planet Anderson. Mel and Lois led the way. Yeah, Planet Anderson. That's the lead song on my CD, or the name of that CD was Planet Anderson for that song. This is another Colin Ray song. I'm going to do this one just because it's also about moms and dads and husbands and wives, and it
the interesting thing is, the first time I heard this song, I had a CD, had somebody give me the CD. I was driving my mom to the funeral home to make plans for my dad's funeral. And this song came on, and it was like, wow. And the interesting thing is that my folks eloped. Grandpa was never real happy about that, and the song says something about Grandpa not liking me too much, him too much. So anyhow, this song has always had a special place for me. I read a note my grandma wrote back in 1923. Grandpa kept it in his coat. He showed it once to me. He said, boy, you might not understand, a long, long time ago. Grandma's daddy didn't like me none, but I loved your grandma so. We had this crazy plan to meet and run away together, get married in the first town we came to and live forever, but nailed to the tree where we were supposed to meet instead. I saw this letter, and this is what it said. If you get there before I do, don't give up on me. I'll meet you when my chores are through. I don't know how long I will be, but I'm not gonna let you down. Darling, wait and see. Cause between now and then, till I see you again, I'll be loving you. Love me. I read those words just hours before my grandma passed away, in the doorway of a church where me and Grandpa stopped to pray. I know I'd never seen him cry in all my 15 years, but as he read those words to her, his eyes filled up with tears. If you get there before I do, don't give up on me. I'll meet you when my chores are through. I don't know how long I will be, but I'm not gonna let you down. Darling, wait and see. Cause between now and then, till I see you again, I'll be loving you. Love me. Yeah, Love Me by Colin Bell. I noticed that I got a new guitar. I just got this. We were driving to Des Moines several weeks ago, and there's a little guitar shop in Perry, Iowa, and I stopped and I was checking out. Most of the stuff he had I wasn't interested in. So I got this one the other day, and it was a all mahogany Takamine, and with a soft tone, and the neck was just like silk. It was a gorgeous guitar, fairly expensive, and I started researching that one, trying to find a used one. Someone I found some, and then I saw this guitar, and it's all coal wood, which has a more mellow sound than a lot of guitars, and it's solid wood. And I found one like this, came out of Boston. The guy had it; it was mint condition, and I like. It's more of a combo guitar, different from some of the other guitars I've had. So let me see. Okay, I need to do this one. Johnny's dead. I gotta find the key. It's in G. Johnny's dead. That's fine. It's gotta be one of these notes. Johnny's does not sound low. Johnny's daddy was taking him fishing when he was 8 years old. A little girl came through the front gate holding a fishing pole. His dad looked down and smiled, said, "We can't leave her behind. Son, I know you don't want her to go, but someday you'll change your mind." And Johnny said, "Take Jimmy Johnson, take Tommy Thompson, take my best friend Bo. Take anybody that you want, as long as she don't go. Take any boy in the world. Daddy, please, don't take the girl." Same old boy, same sweet girl, 10 years down the road. He held her tight and kissed her lips in front of the picture show. A stranger came and pulled a gun, grabbed her by the arm, said, "If you do what I tell you to do, there won't be any harm." And Johnny said, "Take my money, take my wallet, take my credit cards. Here's the watch that my grandpa gave me. Here's the keys to my car, mister, give it a whirl. But please, don't take the girl." Same old boy, same sweet girl, 10 years down the road. There's gonna be a little one, she says it's time to go. Doctor says the baby's fine, but you'll have to leave, 'cause his mama is fading fast. Johnny hit his knees, and there he prayed, "Take the very breath you gave me, take my heart from my chest. I'll gladly take your place if you'll let me make this my last request. Take me out of this world. God, please, don't take the girl." Johnny's daddy was taking him fishing when he was 8 years old. Yeah. Thank you. I think we did this song. I got Tim McGraw did that song. Yeah. It's a cute song. Okay, we're going to go to some patriotic songs a little bit. This is a song that I thought was a patriotic song, because in church we always sang this at patriotic holiday, 4th of July and stuff like that. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Y'all know this part. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damps. I can read his righteous sentence from the dim and flaring lamps. His day marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. He has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call retreat. He is sifting out the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. My God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make men holy, let us die to make men free. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Thanks for singing along. That was good. Okay, we're going to switch here over to you all know this one too. America the Beautiful. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrims' feet, who stern in passion's dress, a thoroughfare for freedom meet across the wilderness. America, America, God shed thy only flaw, confirm thy soul with self-control, thy liberty in law. Oh, beautiful for patriotry that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human fear. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Yeah, that indicates that. This is Woody Guthrie song, This Land Is Your Land. It's among the all was in the songbooks we had when we were kids in music class. I remember singing it back there. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. As I was walking that rhythm highway, I saw above me an endless skyway. I saw below me the Golden Valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled and followed my footsteps through sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. For all around me a voice was sounding, this land was made for you and me. Yeah, this land is your land.
My country, 'tis of thee. The ironic thing, I've said this before, but the ironic thing is this is actually sung to the tune of God Save the Queen, which is kind of ironic.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Lands where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's bride, from every mountainside let freedom ring. My native country thee, land of the noble free, thy name I love. I love thy rocks and rills, thy woods and templed hills. My heart with rapture thrills like that above. Let music swell the breeze and ring from all the trees, sweet freedom's song. Let mortal tongues awake, let all that breathe partake, let rocks their silence break, the sound prolong. Our fathers, God, to thee, author of liberty, to thee we sing. Long may our land be bright, with freedom's holy light. Protect us by thy might, great God, our King.
Yeah, my country, 'tis of thee. This was another one that I think was in our old book at school. You're a Grand Old Flag. I think that was in those little pamphlets we had that we sang out of in grade school. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats to meet the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die. A real-life nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I got a Yankee Doodle, sweet
heart. She's my Yankee Doodle joy. The Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride the ponies. I am a Yankee Doodle boy. Yeah, Yankee Doodle dandy. This is a Trace Atkins song. I told you before when I went to Arlington, and I heard this song. It was like, yeah, it really hits you because it's like Corn Planet, all those tombstones. It's quite the experience. Never thought that this is where I'd settle down. Thought I'd die an old man back in my own town. They gave me this plot of land, me and some other men, for a job well done. There's a big white house up on the hill just off the road. The man inside, he cried the day they brought me home. They folded up the flag and told my mom and dad, we're proud of your son. And I'm proud to be on this peaceful piece of property. I'm on sacred ground and I'm in the best of company. I'm thankful for the things I've done. I can rest in peace. I'm one of the chosen ones. I made it to Arlington. I remember Dad brought me here when I was 8. We searched all day to find out where my granddad lay. And when we finally found that cross, he said, son, this is what it costs to keep us free. Now here I am 1,000 stones away from him. He recognized me on the first day I came in. It gave me a chill when he clicked his heels and saluted me. And I'm proud to be on this peaceful piece of property. I'm on sacred ground and I'm in the best of company. And I'm thankful for the things I've done. I can rest in peace. I'm one of the chosen ones. I made it to Arlington. This is a song by Irving Berlin, God Bless America. It's a classic song. He had actually wrote this song. I was reading about this a while back. It was in a folder somewhere. He'd written part of it and never really finished it. And Fitzgerald, that's a big singer that made this song famous. Ella Fitzgerald, asked him to write a song for her. And he says, I think I've got the song that would be good for you. And he finished this song. And there's a story behind every song. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. We all know this part. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Yeah, God bless America.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Iowa, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time to stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. Yeah, Lee Greenwood. Last year I was fortunate to get to go hear one of his concerts. He was singing at the casino in it was down the road from Sioux City a ways, down where Ottawa or wherever that first one's at. And he really did a good job. He's like 10 years older than me. He's really old. And he still puts on a show. I hadn't heard a lot of his songs before. And he had some nice songs that he did. Of course, I knew that one, but he just loves to entertain, and he's still doing it. And that's cool. Of course, look at Willie Nelson. He's like 200 years old. That's what he looks like. You ever hear the saying, "Written hard and put up wet"? I heard this program I listened to on this AFR radio. They were explaining what that meant. Didn't we know what it means? When you're riding a horse and you ride it really hard, you should brush it down and walk it off before you put it back in the stable. Well, if you ride it hard and put it up wet, the horse is going to get sick. You know, and that's what that saying means. Willie looked like he'd been ridden hard. He's led quite a life. I'm going to do a gospel song. Bill and Gloria Gaither. On Easter Sunday, an 8th grader, a sophomore, and a senior in high school asked me if I would help them do this song for our church, because they'd raised a bunch of money to go to our National Youth Conference this summer. And the church had been very generous at their fundraisers, and they wanted to do something to say thanks. And so this is the song we did, and each one of us did a verse and sang the refrains in harmony, and it was really fun. And really good kids. Two cousins. There were two brothers and a cousin,
A little 8th grade girl she was in my confirmation class. She's good. She let it rip pretty good.
God sent his son, they called him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He lived and died to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow's part. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know he holds the future, and life is worth the living just because he lives. How sweet to hold a newborn baby and feel the pride and joy he gives. But greater still, the calm assurance this child can face uncertain days because he lives. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know he holds the future, and life is worth the living just because he lives. And then one day I'll cross the river, I'll fight life's final wounded pain. And then as death gives way to victory, I'll see the lights of glory, and I'll know he lives. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know he holds the future, and life is worth the living just because he lives. And life is worth the living just because he lives.
Yeah, great song. Well written by Bill and Gloria Gaynor. I guess I'll do this one. I'm hoping the coffee helps with the allergies. Shut up. I'm done with that. Okay. Well, why? My son, I got it from my son. It's probably defective. No, it was really nice he gave it to me. It's way better than the one I had before. Well, they didn't give it to me. I had to buy it. This song was actually originally written as a French song. And Paul Anka, whether you know it or not, he wrote a lot of music. He wrote songs for a lot of people. And he found this song and he wrote and changed the words so that Frank Sinatra could sing it. And Frank did really well with this song. I never really liked it because it's really prideful. I did it my way. And when I do things my way, I usually end up in trouble. And so I rewrote the song, and I hope it's okay.
And when the end is near, and I must face the final curtain, my friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived two different lives, one where God leads, the other I led. When I failed, it was because I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, without exception, it was my own darn fault. I didn't listen with conviction. If you knew all I had done, you wouldn't see me in the same way. When I failed, it was because I did it my way. Yes, there were times I'm sure he knew his work I'd failed to do. I was afraid and there was doubt. He gave me strength to work it out. He held me up, so I stood tall and did it God's way. And now, as I look back, I've learned to make wiser choices. The world says it's okay, but God's word shows me the right way. God gave us all free will. He taught us how to fight temptation. And now I finally learned to follow God's way. For what is a man? What have I got? Without a soul, I'm surely lost. I must seek the truth in what I read and talk to God when on my knees. The record shows I can take the blows when I do it God's way. The record shows I can take the blows when I do it God's way.
Yeah, it's called God's way. Thank you so much. You know, it was a lot easier to hold those notes and do some of those things when I was running cross country and I had all this breath support. As I get older, it's harder to hit some of those notes and carry them over. But thank you so much for being such a great audience. I love coming here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.